Chinese here in the States. Like, they're more authentic. It's like stuff.
No, not even that. Just the way cleanliness or preparing the food.
I like this place in Hunan, I was telling you. And I'm at a like 6-star hotel. They have like fire ratings in the hotels. I don't know how. Anyways, you come out of the hotel.
You just charge
you
more.
come around.
No,
Yeah,
they're really nice. They really do.
No, that area, there's not a lot of restaurants over there. So I think I pay. Well, my guy, the person that I'm in the factory with, has a contract. They have contracts like every year that we gotta get a certain amount of rooms. So I think we pay like maybe $80-$90 a night. It's very, very good. And I get a suite. I get a pretty good suite for that price. Anyway, so we go out of the hotel, and it's like a whole area of a bunch of restaurants out of 10. But the restaurant, they'll have like a tent, tables, a bunch of tables, and they'll have like a family, of preparing your food. So, and they'll have hot food, and like spicy, not spicy, with beer, with peanuts. I love that. I like that. They give you fish, like a whole fish, with vegetables. So that's what I order. And they're like,
they can steam or pan fry. No, it's not deep fried.
No, it's not deep fried.
Oh,
they cook it, and then they put like flames on the bottom.
Okay.
And like you'll eat it, it'll be spicy and hot, like at the same time. And it's really nice. It's good. Fresh. Good. My partner
China.
Yeah, my partner was very skeptical in the beginning to eat there. Like, come on, let's make an adventure.
I heard Hong Kong is great.
Hong Kong is more
like
expensive
it's like Manhattan.
Yeah.
Like it's
no, it's not like Manhattan.
It's a city. It's
more
busy.
expensive.
You can party. It's like happening.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's go. Question number 10. Who has the right of way when two aircraft are on final approach to land at the same time? So both airplanes are coming in into an uncontrolled airport.
What? This one nothing to do with faster or not faster airplanes?
No, irrelevant. Both of them are coming in.
So wherever's lower. Wherever's low altitude.
Good. Now, when two or more aircraft approaching an airport in pursuit of landing, the aircraft at the lower altitude has the right of way, but there's an exception.
Okay.
This rule should not be abused by cutting in front of and overtaking another aircraft. So, let's assume you're here behind this guy, you're just gonna dip in there and pump the speed up and go, whoop, see ya. Is that legal?
No.
No. So, it's kind of cutting the line, exactly. That's right. Okay, that's clear. Lower altitude. Let's discuss the regulations regarding the consumption of alcohol and operating an aircraft. We all know that we like to party on a Saturday night, and we all know that Sunday is a good day to fly, and we're going to fly. What is the regulation in regards to alcohol?
Alcohol within 8 hours?
8 hours.
8 hours and 24? 0.004?
0.004? 0.004 or 0.4? Point what? 0.04. 0.04. 0.004? Nope. Nope. The regulation says, Part 9117 said 0.04%.
0.04.
0.4.
So 8 hours.
The regulations, I'm quoting, no person may act as a crew member of a civil airplane. Pilot in command, solo, crew member, while having 0.04% by weight or more alcohol in the blood and any alcohol beverages consumed within 8 hours.
8 hours.
So you party till midnight, you solo at 8 o'clock in the morning. At 8 o'clock in the morning, you don't have more than 0.04% of alcohol in your blood, percent by weight. You're good. Any questions in regards to alcohol? Don't be going solo when you drink. Okay? At around your home airport, which is here, Republic, where is an operating mode C transponder required?
Okay.
JFK. 20 miles? Let's
Yeah.
listen to the question. At and around your home airport. So let's figure out at your home airport, which is Republic. At Republic, where is an operating transformer with mode C required? So when I'm saying Republic, we're looking at here. That's class Delta. At Republic, class Delta.
It's not required out there.
When is an operating mode C transformer required?
This is class E, right?
Where's class E?
This, what is it?
This? I don't know, look at the legend. That's class Echo starting at 700 feet. Class Echo airspace with floor at 700 feet above the surface.
So this would be G, class Golf, and this
Right.
would be class Echo?
Echo starts here at 700. Echo starts here at 1200. But let's focus on transponders with mode C. What is mode C?
Special transponder.
Okay, what does it do, the mode C?
Identify.
Transmit what?
Altitude.
Altitude.
Transponder.
What is it saying here? Mode C?
Yeah.
What does mode C here mean?
That's required.
What is mode C here saying? Okay, class, no, that's a Charlie. But there's, okay, mode C right there. Mode C FAR 91-215, Airman Information Manual. 91. Always put a reference so you can look at the reference later. 91.215 Airman Information Manual. Both of these will actually say 91.215. See that big circle here?
Yeah.
It says 30 nautical miles mode C. Legally, anywhere here, you gotta have a transponder with mode C. Now why is that? Plus Bravo right on top of you. So if you're flying around here and you don't have a transponder with mode C and the controller picks you up on a radar as a target, he doesn't know your altitude. So how can he warn any other aircraft? And Republic Airport is right in here,
Between class Bravo?
which is underneath the mode C veil. Which means, do we need a transponder with mode C in Republic, or is Republic good?
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Now what about operating it? When do you need to operate it here in Republic?
Where? Do you
When you need to
when
operate? When you need to put it
As soon
on?
as you go above 700, no?
Take off? 700? Actually, the Airman Information Manual, if you refer to that, says that in any controlled airspace, you gotta have transponder mode C on as you start up, so they see you move. In case there's low visibility in the aircraft, in the airport, if they have ground radar in the controlled airspace, they will actually see you target moving on the taxiway. With your altitude on the ground, that means there's an aircraft taxiing. If it's half a mile visibility, 1 mile visibility in fog, whatever it is, they know something's moving if they have ground radar.
So
And
the correct answer would be, for the question, at and around your home airport, where is an operating mode C transponder required?
anytime you start up the airplane and start moving, you gotta have a transponder with mode C on.
So it says, at and around your home airport.
At and around, everywhere you go around. You take off top practice area, draw practice area, anywhere you are.
We don't require it for Luscombe, for Luscombe, it's not required to have one.
Technically, it was certified without an electrical system, the aircraft. So you're not required to have a transformer. So you can call the control tower. And our prior to takeoff, you say, I got an airplane with no transformer, no electrical system. I'm going to be taking off and departing from south. Technically, they're supposed to allow you to do so. But we have a transformer, we just put it on.
Turn around, you want to open the operating what the transformer requires. At the airport as soon as you start up.
Until after shutdown.
Thank you. Airport.
That's kind of correlating to question number 13. So as soon as you start up, as soon as you start moving, put it on mode C, they see you on the ground altitude, and they see you moving, they have ground radar. The public has ground radar, and most of those big airports have it.
What's the code here for farm again? Is it FRG?
FRG.
Okay.
Ready for 14. Except when necessary for takeoffs and landing, what are the minimum safe altitudes when flying over congested and other than congested areas?
Until landing? Or until shutdown?
Start up until shutdown.
Okay, fine. Go ahead.
Except when necessary for takeoff and landing, what are the minimum safe altitudes when flying over congested and other than congested areas? Now that's back to the regulation.
500 above the highest possible?
That's pretty close. But is it populated or non-populated?
I don't know why I remember.
You remember it right.
Yeah?
You remember it right. Minimum altitude over other than congested. What is other than congested?
But it's not congested.
Right over the shoreline. Half a mile, right over the water. Is it
No.
congested?
No.
500 feet.
Congested in 1,000? Is it congested?
Okay, over congested areas. Cities, towns, settlements, or open air assemblies must maintain altitudes 1,000 feet above the highest obstacle. So if there's a house, technically at 100 feet, AGL, you gotta be at 1,100.
What about if there's an antenna? 800 feet.
You gotta be 1,000 feet above the antenna and 2,000 feet horizontal distance. So this is the antenna, and the antenna is up to 400 feet. You gotta be at 1,400 feet. You won't fly above the antenna. You better off go around it. 2,000 feet.
2,000 feet around it.
2,000 feet distance.
Good, good.
It's very similar to cloud clearance for class delta.
Right.
Because the class delta, we're 500 below, 1,000 above, 2,000 distance.
So we can just maybe 1,000 feet.
And minimum safe altitude, similar, 500 feet sparsely populated, non-congested, 1,000 feet above the highest obstacle congested, and 2,000 feet horizontal distance from the obstacle.
And 2,000 feet
Horizontal distance, just like clouds.
for both.
Yep. Question 15. List at least 3 sources for local alternative setting at an airport and another alternative none is available. How do we obtain the local altimeter setting? First of all, ATIS. What is ATIS? Air?
Information, traffic.
Information, you got it right. The I stands for information. Nothing with traffic. Automated,
System.
terminal, information. If it, basically gonna say Republic Airport, information alpha, time, 1535 Zulu, weather, wind, 2505, visibility 10 miles, clouds 6,000 broken. Temperature 152.13, altimeter 29901.
Automated, terminal.
Information system. It will say 29901 in the ATIS. Another way to get your altimeter setting? METAR. Very good. How do you get the METAR?
METAR?
METAR.
That's another thing? M-I-T-A-R?
METAR.
M-E-T-A-R. What is that something?
Meteorology, meteorological, terminal, area, so forth. Okay, in a second.
You don't need to know what it stands for, but you need to know it's METAR.
METAR is METAR is worldwide. Yeah, this
It's
is
one of those things that you call?
worldwide. No, you get it on the
On
internet.
the internet or phone, please.
Yeah, you get it on the internet. I'll find it. Data summary chart.
So just give me a briefing of what it is, I know you can know what it stands for. Can you get it on the internet?
Yeah, METAR. It's
You go METAR.
www.aviationweather.gov.
Yes, this is the new copy JFK. Which will take JFK, the time, the date, the fifth, time, 1451 to 280, across now, 10,000 miles. So similar to JFK, the A2 that, similar to the airport.
Aviation routine weather report. That's METAR. Aviation routine weather report. And that's worldwide. You go to China, you can pick up a METAR for Beijing.
I gotta go and put in.
Put in the identifier.
METAR for whatever airport.
Airport, Beijing. I mean, go pick up, CYYZ, that's Toronto, Canada. You can pick it up. Charlie, Canada. Yankee Zulu Zulu. You'll pick up. You can go pick up Lima, BG, which is Ben Gurion in Tel Aviv. You'll have the METAR, everything. It's worldwide, METAR. That's another way. What's another third way to get it?
The ground, AGL, put it to the ground.
Yeah, it's another good option. If everything's shut down, you can set up your altimeter to field elevation, 82 in the Republic. That will give you the altimeter setting. Basically, the altimeter is pretty accurate. What's another way?
There's another one. This is good, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
Elevation?
absolutely good. I do it on my airplane all the time. Set to the field elevation. You know, if Republic's 82, you set it for 82, you know it's set right. It's right on the field elevation.
Field elevation. Okay.
How about an ASOS or an AWOS?
I know what that is.
Automated weather observation system? Automated surface observation system?
What about the closest airport, the next closest airport?
You can do that also. That's another option. Get ice lift. You know the pressure is not going to be that much different.
Now, how do I get ISIS? METAR, the ISIS?
You go for ice lift. That's
So
right.
METAR would be the next
ISP.
one. Okay.
So there's a lot of ways to get the altimeter setting. The worst case scenario, you set your altimeter setting to the field elevation system. Where all that barometer, pressure thing, windows, the field elevation, 82 years Republic. Any questions on
So ATIS,
altimeter
METAR,
setting?
field elevation. At least three.
At least three, we listed plenty. We listed ATIS, METAR, field elevation, ASOS, AWOS,
ASOS?
ASOS, and we listed another AWOS,
AWOS.
AWOS, ASOS, ASOS.
8, 6, 4. I'll find out if it's in front. Fine.
Number 16. When practicing steep turns, stalls, and maneuvering during slow flight, the entry altitude must allow a recovery to be completed no lower than how many feet AGL?
1,500? See the recovery, that means you can start at 2,000.
Start at 2,000, make sure you don't go below when you do stalls. What about spins?
Same thing, no?
Higher.
Higher?
Spins are higher.
Yeah, question?
3,000 AGL.
3,000 AGL.
You get up 4,500, you spin it down, make sure you recover above 3,000.
What is in your spin?
I haven't been in this.
Let's do the pre-solo first. Let's do the pre-solo, one step at a time. I mean, it's good. I highly recommend for any pilot, sport pilots, student pilots, to do spins when you get comfortable.
Yeah, we'll do a spin before you know it.
Just to kind of, feel what it's like.
I haven't done it either. I have never even seen it done.
It's a normal maneuver. There's nothing.
But the Cessnas, it'll recover out of spin right up. All you gotta do is let it go.
Cessna is really hard to get into spin.
No, get it into spin, but to recover out of spin.
Recover, you just like on control.
Like on control, it'll
You
recover.
just go into a spiral and come out of it.
See that?
Yeah.
Oh, the video? I gotta check it out.
Oh, YouTube,
Yeah,
you can
big
find
thing.
everything.
I gotta check it out.
YouTube, you can see anything you want. Okay?
I'll
Number
tell Jacob I did
17.
a spin. Check me out on YouTube. You know Jacob? You know him? You met him?
No, I don't think he missed it. No. Is he like, interested?
He's crazy. If he does this, he'll probably
He'll push it.
spin.
He'll
Yeah.
push all those directions. Number 17. When is a go-around appropriate?
When the pilot in command seems to stick.
Very good. Pilot in command decision. So you come in for landing, the tail goes, swings right, the wind's pushing you to the left, you're about losing directional control, the airplane's all over the place, what do you think you're going to do? Full power, go around. They say there's always a second chance, so don't push it. When else is it appropriate? I like it. Too much wind? Coming in, you're getting bounced around, it's getting out of control, you decide that's too much wind for me, I'm going to land somewhere else. It's okay. It's perfectly safe.
Look at the wood to the ground, clipping in time to land.
Touching halfway down the runway or 3/4 of the way. Have you seen that video about St. Bart? The video of the twin coming into St. Bart,
Oh,
2,000-foot strip.
And
Landed like on 3/4 of the way down, and then
Awesome.
slam on the brakes, and then ended up in the water. You see that?
World's most dangerous airport.
It's a
Thank
crazy.
the whole Florida?
Yeah, it's crazier.
Because it slopes down like this.
It's a slow. You can't land
And it's short.
into the mountains because if you have to go around, you can't outclimb those hills. So they're like way up, and it's a short runway, and it's there's a lot of go arounds over there.
So pilot
Special
in command
training.
decision, so when there's wind, when you're too far out on the runway.
Yep, if you're landing halfway down the runway, it's not good. You gotta always give yourself the first third.
Unless you have a long enough runway.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to Kennedy at 14,600 feet. Well, that's a different story. You got plenty of wind. But, generally, normal runway, the first third you go. Where else is it appropriate? Welcome 77927. I got an airplane on the runway go around. Power instructed to do so. When is it else appropriate? Just recently, about a month ago, I came in here, they never cleared us to land, and the tower controller was too busy. It was appropriate to go around without a landing plan. Last few seconds, I asked, are we cleared around? Are we clear to land? Clear to land, sir, or are we going around? He's like, clear to land? I already cleared. He didn't. He just forgot, or Never,
Three times that she came pretty close to
Yep.
that without having them.
Well, that's
do it.
appropriate. If you don't have a landing clearance, you better go around instead of explaining why you landed without the clearance.
Even though you're in the airport
Even though
pathway?
you're on the approach end and the runway's clear, but you haven't got the landing clearance, control airspace. You gotta get clearance before you can land. What if there's a car on the runway? A deer, animal, bird,
Obstacle on the runway.
obstacle. What if the brakes don't work? Happened to me. I touched down, but there was no brakes. Off we go.
Where you want? You still have to use
What
brakes.
happens then?
Yeah.
I landed somewhere else.
Where you don't need brakes? No
So
slow
you-
steel.
I landed somewhere else. The runway was wet, so I just didn't care. I just went somewhere else.
How do you know if the brakes didn't work?
But they just didn't work. I slam on the brakes, and we're sliding and skidding like we're water skiing,
Oh, gotcha.
or jet ski.
It was slippery, you mean? Not the brakes
Yeah, it
didn't
was
work.
water, slush, maybe thick, a lot of water, rain, and it was just like the brakes didn't work. The airplane
Didn't
mechanical.
want to stop.
The airplane
Right.
mechanical, the anti-skid just locked and it wouldn't release because wheel spin and it just kept on going. We landed somewhere else. What if it's an icy runway? You're coming in the snow and the runway is iced up. Brakes may not work. You slam on the brakes and you keep on sliding. You see the departure end coming right in front of your face.
So how do you maneuver?
Full power, go around.
But what car is going to the left or the right? How do you maneuver?
Well, when you get power in there, you have instant control on the airplane because you got all that airflow, you got the prop wall. And you immediately regain control.
We get control with the stick or the...
Stick of the rudder, whatever it is, yoke, whatever it is.
So you gotta have a full power.
Gotta have the full power. What is the go-around procedure? Now, when we're talking about it, going to number 18, discuss the steps in a go-around process.
No power.
Full power. Number one, full power. Then what?
No, no, no.
You can retrim if you have flaps and you're trimmed for landing with flaps. You may add full power, and the airplane just wants to go straight up, so you may retrim. What else? How about climb, pitch, attitude?
Yeah, sure.
The airplane is for landing right there, and you're going around. You got to get full power. You got to pitch up for climb attitude above the horizon so you can climb. So power and pitch. Some airplanes require to retract the flaps. On this aircraft, we do not have flaps, so there's less to worry about. All we have to do is full power, pitch up, and they'll go.
So you full power and you pitch up right away regardless of the speed you're in?
Absolutely.
What if you're ground effect or whatever? You touch down already and you see that you don't have enough, braking power. So you gotta gain some speed first, no? Before you
Depends
pitch up.
on the touchdown speed. What's usually the touchdown speed on this airplane?
Speed, you know?
That's enough.
Come on, 80.
Probably touching down at like 50, 60 miles an hour.
So
That's
you
it.
gotta get to 80 guys.
No,
Or
no,
65 you
no,
gotta get.
no. What's VX climb? Best angle of climb, 60. What's best rate of climb? 72, 72. So it's not much. That airplane is so light. You're gonna add power, off she goes. Very light. If you have an obstacle at the departure end, well, guess what? You're gonna pitch to 60 because you went to the obstacle, the X climb. If there's no obstacle, you're gonna pitch to 72 and just climb out 72 and retrim the airplane. It's 72 climb. Any questions?
No.
What general steps should you follow after an engine failure in flight? That's what I call the fun step. A lot of people say, I'll look at my checklist. No problem. Look at your checklist. What's the checklist going to say? Common sense. Most common sense. Power loss in flight. Remember, aviate, navigate, communicate. Aviate. What do we need to do with aviate? Fly the airplane. What's going to call for the flying the airplane? What are we looking at?
Wind. What's the speed?
Speed. What speed are you looking for? Best cruise?
No,
That's fine.
Best climb. It's very close. It's very close. Best rate of climb. It's almost the same as most of the airplanes. Certain speed we're looking for. We're cruising along at 3,500 feet. Boom, engine failure.
best glide.
Best glide. What's the speed on that aircraft?
72.
72 miles an hour. Best glide. Number 2.
Which is like that. We said aviate.
Aviate, navigate, communicate. Aviate. Number 1. Best glide. 72 miles an hour. Number 2.
Aviate is best.
Best glide. 72 miles an hour.
That's what it's called. Best glide.
Best glide.
Best glide.
Like a glider. Gliding. Glide. That's number 2.
Navigate to an airport. Glide.
Before navigation, no, you haven't even got to navigation. Something else that they
Navigation.
create. You're getting close. What may be a reason why the engine failed?
Is it?
Ice.
Ice.
Do we have fuel injection on this airplane or carburetor?
Probably.
Carburetor. If we have carburetor ice, what do we do?
It's a piece of heat.
You don't
Oh,
use
no,
it.
no,
Now mix up the pitot.
Carbureted heat.
Do we have pitot heat on this airplane?
I don't know, do we?
What do you think?
Gotta have.
Pitot heat. No pitot heat.
No, have it.
Non-heated. No, that pitot is non-heated. If you pick up ice
You
on
gotta go
that,
down.
if you pick up ice on that thing, there's nowhere to melt it, other than get to low altitude where it's warm. It's gonna have your airspeed to 0 when it's iced up. Unlike other airplanes. This aircraft is non-icing, okay, so we got the carburetor heat on, a little bit of carb ice. Out of a sudden, the engine wakes up because you're melting the ice. And off you go fly. So always, best glide, fly the plane, carburetor heat on. Then what?
If the coffee doesn't resolve the bottom, flying to the wind.
Fly into the wind.
Fly into the wind.
Kind of like
Again.
Yeah, kind of like.
You're not like you're at 3,500 feet. You're not going to just fly into the wind. You're kind of trying to figure out what the wind's doing more than just fly into the wind.
Why would you want to fly into the wind and not?
You mentioned flying into the wind. I would actually look down and see what the wind's doing down there. Because I'm ready to land. If my engine fails, I'm going to base glide it, carburetor heat on, and I'm going to try and figure out where the wind is from so I can land into the wind. And, you know, if the wind's from the south, I'm going to find a field where I land into the south. If the wind's from the west, I'm going to land along the shoreline. Depends on where I'm at.
On the shoreline.
Whatever it takes, on the beach, yeah, whatever it takes. So we need to note the wind direction and velocity. That's number 2.
That's aviate. We saw aviate, right? Carbureting on.
It's kind of related to navigation already. You're kind of getting yourself towards a place to land, so you're already in a navigating stage when you're looking at the wind.
It is navigating. So, for aviate, we gotta do best glide speed, which is 72, and carburetor heat on. That's it, 2 things.
Navigate,
Navigate.
check the wind direction velocity, then what?
Note wind direction. And velocity? Why?
Because you want to know how fast the wind is. If you have wind at 20 knots, you bet you can stop at 200 feet. Doesn't play. The more headwind you have, you land into that wind, you're going to stop faster. common sense, right?
Yeah.
The more headwind, the shorter the ground roll. And
How do
then-
how do I tell that?
Okay, if you see a flag really, going like this, crazy, like really, I mean, you can see the trees by the flag down there, you can see
You
the
can tell how
swell.
fast it is.
I don't know, you can tell, you can see the swell on the water, if you're in the intercoastal waterway, you can see like the white caps, I mean, you can tell if it's really windy down there. It's very important to note the wind direction velocity because if that airplane slows at what airspeed? 45 miles an hour. And you have 30 knots of wind, and you're landing downwind, the wind's behind. What's your ground speed as you touch down? If your stall speed is 45 miles an hour, and you have wind behind, what's your touchdown point on the emergency landing site? Your forward speed as you touch down, your ground speed as you're touching down, when the wind's behind you at 30 knots. And you're at 45 miles, almost 100, good point. 30 knots is, almost 40 miles an hour. Plus 45 is at 85 miles an hour touchdown. What if you swing over and go into the wind? Now you're 45 mile an hour stall speed, wind's coming here at 30 knots. You're down to 15 miles an hour. No, you can't fall, you can just go like this, like a bicycle, and touch down so slow that...
So you won't fall.
No, I mean, as long as your airspeed is at 45 miles an hour and you're like 45 miles an hour, just like stalling the aircraft right on the field you selected, you walk out of it. You walk out of it.
But you won't, if the headwind comes in front of you and you're 45, and even if it's 45 headwind, you'll just land and stop pretty much.
Yeah, what if it's 50?
If you go back.
You can land backwards. If
Yeah.
it's really windy, you can land backwards.
Yeah, if you fly, like if you fly planes, just not going into the, there's enough speed.
You'll be actually flying right on top of
the.
the field, and you start to descend, and when you slow down too much, you start going backwards. So you got to lower the nose to speed up again and come back to your point. So you got to control the airspeed.
It's 70 miles.
At 70 knots?
Headwind.
70 knots headwind?
I mean,
You got to touch
yeah.
down at 80 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour. You got to come in super duper fast to put it right on the field.
You got 50 power.
There's no power,
Oh.
you just engine fill.
Oh, how do you find you go come?
Lower the nose, pitch for speed, yeah. But it's
Chances are you're not gonna
70
get
knots
70.
on a hurricane.
I
I think Sandy was here, and we had like 70 miles an
just
hour.
like-
Yeah, that's
Hypothetical.
I've seen the wind here in the northeast gusting to 42.
Put it
Never
this way.
seen more than
Put it
this.
this way, if you're landing at 70 knots, you're just lucky you're trying to land.
Like
If
it's
you're
right
not
on,
flying.
exactly. But I've flown here with 42 knots, gusting to 42.
Against wind.
No, like certain days when I was flying, the wind was that strong on the ground. So, in case of an engine failure, you know what the wind's doing. It's good.
You gotta pay attention.
Pay
to
attention.
the wind.
So we note the wind direction and velocity, and then what?
Before they take the land.
Pick a landing site. You gotta navigate. You gotta find a point to land. So, open field is always recommended. No obstacles, no trees, no power lines. Some people go for roads. I like open field better because there's no obstacles, there's no power lines, there's no cars. If you find an airport that you can glide to, that's the best. It's ideal because you're going to have runways. Stay away from the water because that tends to, you tend to drown because, it's not very safe. So always stay with the ground, with terrain. Open field is recommended, and
You have no
then
choice when you're above water, what happens then?
you ditch, land into the wind, and hope for the best.
Land into the wind,
Yeah, land into the wind and
wait for the water.
jump out. I mean, life vest is highly recommended. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Tell the air traffic control where you're landing so they'll send some rescue, so maybe they can find you with the airplane floating. This particular airplane may float for a while because it's very light. It's got fabric wings. So it may float for a while, so they can find you much quicker. You can stay with the airplane. You come out of the plane, you know, unbuckle and just hang on to the plane for as long as you can handle it. I mean, now it's not bad. 70 degrees, 68, you know, the end of the season. But if it's wintertime, whoa, not good. Then it says, fuel selector check on, note the gauge, primer in and lock, try repriming to try to restart, and check the mags. So make sure both are on, left, right, maybe one of the mags is acting up, that's why it's going left. Now it says if no restart and time permits, if you can't regain
How
power,
would you restart it if you gotta go from the outside to restart it?
you mean the prop stop?
Yeah.
You're done.
Are you still talking about? it's
I'm talking
acting up?
windmilling. I'm talking windmilling.
Uh,
If that prop stops, you're done. You can't restart the airplane.
This particular one.
This particular airplane, you don't have to start it.
Okay.
When that prop stops, you're going down. You're gonna find a place and land. That's
If the
it.
cylinder just came out or something?
Yeah, when that prop stops, you're done. You can't recline. If it's windmilling, it's still spinning with the air. You can try, you know, priming, you know, your mags, maybe one of the mags, or you could probably do something, but not restart, like crank it up. You can't do that. So they tell maintain best line, 72 miles an hour, squawk 7,700, declare an emergency with a tower, approach, uniform. Seatbelt, tight, ELT's on, fuel selector off. Now you're getting ready to land, emergency landing, because you want everything off, because in case you know, slip for whatever reason, you don't want the engine to catch fire. So you close the fuel selector, all the electrical, turn the mags off, unlatch the door, and protect the body. I have pillows on the airplane, so you can put the pillow in front of you, in front of the glare shield. Keep the seatbelt, you know, tight until you're, until touchdown, and keep the doors open, unlatch. It's easy. You open it up and unlatch it,
Leave it like flat.
and let it flap. This way, when you hit, the fuselage can crumble, and you can get out. Because if it's crumbled and the door is locked, you may not be able to escape. I mean, it depends on where you're landing. That's what the checklist says, and that's your free solo stuff. So anything related to engine failure in flight, we had everything covered. Aviate, fly the plane, navigate, find the field, and communicate. Declare an emergency with power, approach, unicom, whatever frequency you're talking to, or whoever is in. These engines are very, very reliable. I'm not saying it cannot happen. Over 5,000 hours of flying single engine pistol, I've never had an engine failure, ever. I had some partial power loss. You know, mag was running rough, the spark plugs, you know, get a little clogged up, but very reliable. These engines, I mean, every 100 hours, they check compression, they make sure everything's good. The mags have airworthiness directives that every 500 hours, they gotta, you know, redo the mags and build them, you know. Usually, you just run out of gas. You know, those engine failures, they just run out of gas. They just have no gas. They ain't gonna fly with no gas. Just like a truck, just like a motorcycle or anything else.
So what are you gonna worry about restarting?
I mean, I'm talking my experience
Experience with
with
the
the airplanes I fly and the airplanes I maintain, you know, it's every 100 hours. I mean, the mechanic says, hey, your compression is on cylinder 60, you know, 62 on cylinder 3. I say, go ahead, put a new cylinder. Boom, they bump up, you know, if you put a new cylinder. I don't play, you know, but, you know, I mean, you've flown, I mean, we just did a 7-hour non-stop flight. I mean, this thing's running like a clock, you know. I mean, you saw it. So, you know, it's very rare, but it does happen. I mean, you gotta be, every time you go fly, you gotta think about what happens if. And this checklist is always with you. Open it up.
How long before you touch down? If you're at 3,000?
This airplane has glide ratio. I mean, it's like a glider. I mean, 35-foot wingspan, and it weighs 1,200 pounds. The 172 has 35-foot wingspan. It weighs 2,550. is probably gliding twice as long. So you can go for a long, long distance. So if you're at 3,500 feet, you're one,
You
two.
try gliding with the airline?
Yeah. You'll see. You'll throttle back to idle. I mean, remember, a lot of times we come in for landing and, we're high and we throttle back to idle and we can't catch up with the glide path. It's happened before, right? Because like really, so probably 1 to 20. For every 1 foot, you'll travel about 20 feet forward, which is pretty good. Whereas if you're at 3,000 feet times 20, you're probably looking at about 60,000 feet forward from 3,000 feet. About
60,000 feet.
About 10 miles. From 3,000 feet, it drops to about 10 miles. So it's pretty good glide over there.
All right.
So you'll probably make it, if you're high, like some of those flights were like 9,500 feet. So you can glide for like 20 miles. So you can hit nearest. You'll definitely